Hello reformers and welcome back at a very good time in actual fact, because as you can see here we have made peace with the Arulo, and as far as I'm aware the Arulo are not actually even that difficult for us to fight, because I actually saw a patrol of the Arulo very close to, where is it now? I always get mixed up with the Elentor town names. It's not Leal and it's not Elsinore, it's the other one. Fornion, there you go. Yeah, I saw an Arulo patrol very close by to Fornion, and they seem to have a lot of thrown weapon specialists, so I would assume that maybe they wouldn't have shields either? I'm actually unsure about that. Maybe we should take a look at the troop trees real quick, because actually, we can actually do that. I think that's pretty cool to take a look. So let's have a see here. Alright, so we already know about most of the factions here, of course. Realm of the Falcon, Valahir Clan, the Dwarves, of course. There's the Geldar. The Geldar are obviously quite amazing. Then we have the Gretus, or the Kretus Monarchy. And then we have the Kulan Horde, the Giants, of course. And there's the Arulo. Okay, so the Arulo, they have these guys over here as their maximum unit. They have 93 HP and only a staff. That's it. They only have a staff. If they get to you, they will kill you instantly, basically, because look at their polearm proficiency. It's absolutely insane. They have 93 HP, which is obviously quite a lot, but other than that, nothing. So basically, we will be able to very easily. I mean, they use leaf bombs. I don't know what leaf bombs are, but I can assume they're probably going to be quite powerful. And then they have bows. That's it. We could have probably been fighting the Arulo for quite some time. Well, never mind. I will let you know what I've actually been attempting to do here. Obviously, I have to get a positive relation with the towns. Now, as you can see here, I actually thought I needed 5 relation to be able to purchase an enterprise, but I can actually buy an enterprise just with +1, so I only need to buy 1 round of beers in the tavern, and then we already have +1, so that's fantastic. Now, as you can see, I could already, purchase something, but unfortunately, I had already purchased some land in Leal, because I thought to myself, okay, if I can't purchase, an enterprise, because I actually thought it would take us a lot longer to earn the relation possible, to access this particular part of Perisno, then I'll buy some land instead. And I bought 3 acres for 9,000. Yeah, 3 acres for 9,000, and hopefully that's going to be, paying off quite considerably in the future, because obviously, it's going to give us, I think, 860 per acre, so that's about 2,400 every single week. And obviously we have to collect that from the town, so we obviously have to come back here and collect our rent and so on and so forth, but that's pretty cool in my opinion. So I thought I'd do that just as a bit of a stopgap, just in case we had some money woes. But as it stands, I can probably buy one of these for 24,000 orums in not much time at all. So, as you can see, it would give us 2,150 per week, but I'm already getting 2,400 from our acres that I've just bought for 9,000, which is a lot cheaper than an enterprise, but obviously it does not get paid directly into your inventory, so obviously that's a bit of a difficulty. Yeah, the ironworks I think are probably not going to be worth it, because the Weavery and Dyeworks is only 9,000 more than the Ironworks, and it gives you much more. It gives you about 1,200 more orums, yeah, approximately, give or take. And I think that's much better. So as you can see here, how much do I own here? There are currently 13 acres of land available for cultivation. You own 3 acres of land. Yeah, exactly. So I could technically buy another 2 acres if I wanted to, or I could buy another 1 of the the uncultivated land. Obviously, I'm not going to do that right now. I've already done a pretty decent deal there. And oh yeah, I've also swapped out the bows from our cavalry, because yeah, that has reduced significantly the wages. As you can see here, I think I had about 3,000 500 or something, and I think it's reduced it by a rather significant margin. So if I go down here and take a look at the hired cavalry, these used to be 447 weekly wage. Now they are 109. They are using thrown weapons instead of bows. So hopefully that's going to make a bit of a difference. But obviously it is going to reduce their effectiveness, I think. So that's going to be a bit of a problem too. Now, what we could do is we could either hunt down this guy. It's going to, well, this is going to expire in 11 days. I still have this. I have to go back to the princess and tell her that we failed, which is obviously going to be a very pleasant experience, because she's obviously going to not be very happy with us, suffice it to say. Anyway, I guess we might as well go over there and do that. And then I think it might be a... That's the thing, what I was actually going to decide to do in this episode was actually go and attack the Arulo, see if we could find some more patrols of theirs. Because it seemed like they weren't particularly powerful. But unfortunately now, now they have made peace. So that's obviously a bit of a problem, isn't it? And it's also a bit of a problem that the princess has now left Elsinore, and it seems like we have a very big battle on our hands. I did not see any of those, but that's okay. I suppose that's fine. I guess we'll be okay here, right? We'll be absolutely fine. You know, these guys are not particularly powerful. Yes, they are. They are actually quite powerful. I'm going to need to use my battle cry in this, I think. It's probably going to make much more sense to use my battle cry than the first aid thing. Okay, let's just try and deal as much damage as I can. My bow is just absolutely useless. It really is absolutely useless. My sword is much, much better. As you can see, I can actually deal some pretty decent damage with it. If I'm able to hit the head, that is. If I'm able to hit the head, then that makes much, much more sense than, you know, hitting the body armor, because the body armor is very, very powerful. Gonna send my infantry and cavalry in. Hopefully we're gonna be able to defend our archers from their assault, but as it stands, it seems like they're actually able to deal some pretty decent damage to us. Come on, kill them. Kill that. No, she's getting back on her mount. She's getting on one of our mounts, isn't she? That's not very nice of her. Oh, that's not good at all. That is not good at all, actually. I think what I'm actually gonna do... I know that this might be bad for us. Oh, I can't ride this? Really? Okay, well... Yeah, I was actually... What I'm gonna do is, I think, considering the main bulk of our opponents are now upon us, what I'm going to do is I'm going to retreat here. We've already lost about 30 of our 60 units, which is not very good at all, but we have eliminated 63 of them. So what we can do is leave. Let's actually just take a look. Yeah, there we go. We would have been able to easily take one of these parties, not both of them. So let's just rest here for a little bit of time. We salvage that situation a little bit, because obviously we don't want to lose all of our units in one fell swoop. That would be an absolute travesty. So I'm going to try and salvage things a little bit here. Let's get some more hired master archers. Yeah. Alright, and then let's get some more of these veterans up here. I'm actually going to put the hired units at the top here because I'd like to see what we actually have and, you know, see if I can make good use of them. So, do I have any? Yeah, I do have some hired cavalry. We can obviously put those at the top there as well. And do we have anything else? We don't have anything else. Well, that's unfortunate, isn't it? Perisno none cavalry. Obviously, they're going to be leveling up quite a bit. Okay, alright. Now, are we back to fighting strength? Let's have a look. 44 out of 53. That should be enough to take on that band of 39 over here. Yeah, there we go. Hello. Let's do it. Thankfully, they're not getting to bring a friend this time. Bringing a friend is obviously not very good in this situation. Obviously, we're going to be getting a lot less renown, which is obviously a big deal, but we also got a little bit unlucky with the battlefield layout of the previous engagement, because if we had gotten a hill or anything, regarding that, anything to give our archers a good advantage, then obviously, we would have been in a much, much better spot. But unfortunately, that was not the case, and, we had to deal with it in a very kind of uncomfortable manner. So, yeah, well, never mind. I think we're going to be much, much easier here. This is going to be much easier to deal with. Wow, Perisno none cavalry actually look really cool. Anyway, yeah, this is pretty much a foregone conclusion. I don't think they're going to be able to do much against us. I'm going to try and level up my archery a little bit more just by shooting these unshielded units. I mean, these are obviously the easiest to take out in comparison to the others. So these are going to be a little bit easier to deal with. Oh, come on, don't get shot. No. How dare you? How dare you? Come on, Scout. You cannot possibly die. Not against the easiest units. Okay, come on, can I get it? I was hopeful that I'd be able to get a headshot. I did kill a couple of them, so I suppose that's okay. You know, getting a little bit of experience here or there is obviously going to make a bit of difference every now and again, and hopefully we'll be able to get level up soon. So, I guess we can take a couple of these things. Ooh, an Amazon shield, a full Amazon shield, which is going to be much, much better for us. The saber and the rusty ancient sword. No, it's not really going to make too much difference for us, is it? No, there we go. All right. Yeah, our companions also do not want any of those things. Thankfully, the princess seems to have returned back to the town now, so we can obviously do something with her. And we're going to sell these things. Thank you. Oh, almost 1,000 orms. I think we'll probably be able to get the Weavery and Dye Works up and running pretty soon. I'm actually going to go into the tavern here, spend our 1,000 dinars on improving the relation with Elsinore, and I'm actually just going to go in and see how much we could actually make from a Weavery and Dye Works. Look at that! We can make 5,000 orums instead of 2,000 at Lille, so this is much, much better for a Weavery and Dye Works, if that stays the same. If it stays the same, then that's absolutely fantastic. I'm going to try and find these deserters. It's going to be unlikely, I think, because they usually spawn pretty far away in... Oh, wow, she's become the marshal. That's nice. That is very nice. Alright, well, anyway, yeah. They usually spawn pretty far away, as far as I'm aware, in Perisno in comparison to other mods and indeed maybe native as well. So I might have to search for that off screen so that we save a little bit of time. But otherwise, I'm going to go in and speak to the princess, and hopefully she's going to not scold us too much for failing that task. Yeah, we lost 2 relation. That's not very good, is it? But, she needs 4 Gildarian Rangers. Nope, I'm sorry, I will be unable to do that. But I am going to try and find those deserters. Alright, so unfortunately I was unable to find the deserters. I really don't know where they would be. I mean, I've looked in the entire area surrounding Elsinore, and you would expect them to be around there, right? Well, couldn't find them. Anyway, we do now have another opportunity to increase our relation with the princess, and hopefully we'll be able to marry her at some point in the future. So, yes, we're going to be improving our relation because she is now the marshal by doing... well, a bit of a quest here. I'm going to be accompanying her on her... oh my. Well, I guess I'm going to be doing a little bit of fighting before that time. And we're going to try and... yes, we're going to try and survive against an overwhelming force. It's actually not overwhelming, it's actually pretty reasonable. I think we'll actually be able to do a pretty reasonable job here, but obviously we do have to deal with a bit of an uncomfortable battle layout here. I'm not particularly happy about this battle layout, to be honest. Come on, let's deal some damage. Get some headshots. Get some headshots going on. Head slashes, should I say? There we are, there we are. That's a little bit better. Alright, so let's get our units back up here, if at all possible. And I'm gonna try and shoot a couple of enemies here. Can we? Can we actually... Really, horse? Come on now, come on. That is unfortunate. Oh well, never mind. Seems like I might be able to, you know, deal a little bit of extra damage here. They are running straight towards me, which is absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I'm definitely going to need a new bow. Definitely going to need a new bow. Ah, no. Ah, I was hopeful that for that headshot to actually go through there. But I did hit something else in the back, so I suppose that's okay. Alright, so let's just tell our infantry and cavalry just to charge in here. Well, you know, we want to take a couple of prisoners, don't we? Yeah, we want to take a couple of prisoners, because obviously, you know, we do have those blunt weapons for a reason. And it would be quite nice to utilize them a little bit. But thankfully, some of these units are not using very, very good armor, so I'm able to actually do a little bit of damage. So let's see if I can do a little bit more. There's a nice headshot there, but that's not really going to give us anything. Oh, really? I am doing such little damage. And I have 5 in power draw, or is it 6 now? I think, no, I think we still have 5 in power draw. You would think that you'd do a little bit more, but, well, seems like I'm going to need to get a better bow to be able to do that. But there you go, that was a pretty easy fight, and we do get a couple of captured enemies there, which is always nice. And, oh, we also get some pretty nice loot as well. I'm always happy to receive good loot. So let's see, is there anything else here? No, no, no. Alright. I need some riding skill actually, don't I? I think I need some riding skill perhaps, because I did say that I was going to become a horse archer in the very beginning of the series, and I thought that might be a good idea to go for, but it seems like I've just had myself consumed by the acquisition of leadership and persuasion and things like that, so I think I can probably stop doing that now, and I might be able to go for some riding skill. That would be quite nice. And I suppose we'll go for another point in agility because it's nice to have round numbers. And if we're going to be going for riding skill, then obviously that's going to make a difference. Obviously horse archery is also going to be needed. And what else do I want to do here? Well, I guess a little bit of one-handed weapon proficiency can't hurt. Alright, so let's accompany the princess. Where is she going to go? I'm actually quite interested to see where she heads off to now. I have a very, very weakened party here, so I'm not entirely sure if we're going to be able to join in a very large fight. But maybe if it's the Galdarin, we might be able to. It really depends. She's waiting here at Lille for some reason. This is very strange. Alright, so we now have a balance of 654 in Lille, which I suppose is... Ah, well, I guess it's okay. I was hopeful for a little bit more than that, but obviously it's only been a couple of days. So I'm just going to speed up time a little bit and see where they go. Yeah, the troublesome bandits have been eliminated by another party. Yeah, as expected. Thought they would. Is she just waiting for more and more people to turn up? I suppose it's okay, because we do get our wound treatment to restore ourselves a little bit here. And then we can, you know, maybe help out a little bit more as well. Alright, so where's she going? Oh. The quest is complete. Really? Right. Okay, so she is technically the marshal, but, oh, well, never mind. Yeah, so we are losing 1,222, but that's fine, because that usually is supplemented by prisoners or by loot. And obviously, I do have that additional... Whoa. Whoa, okay, yeah, be a bit careful of that guy. He's neutral with us right now, so I suppose that's not really a big deal, but yes. Anyway, we do have the acres, of course, and we do have the mercenary payments, so I suppose we don't really need to worry about that too much. I am, of course, going to go and head in here and ask for another task. Ask for another task. Ah, there we go. Yes. Okay, that's going to give me 1 relation, which is really not very good, but... Ah, well, I suppose it's okay. We have done a little bit of fighting in this episode, not too bad. I would have liked to have fought a little bit more, maybe got a little bit more in the way of money, but obviously we have purchased those acres, and we are doing okay. You know, we're doing okay in terms of money and everything, so maybe I could buy some land here, actually. How much would it actually cost me to buy something here? 3,000. Well, that's pretty harsh. Currently accumulates to 776 per acre every week and has to be collected. Well, I guess that's okay. I mean, I'm going to go in here and actually buy a drink for everyone so that I get +1. Because it seems like you need +1. We can also sell some slaves here for 1,000 as well. There you go. So let's actually just see, real quick, how much we can get from a Weavery and Dye Works. 2,700. Well, that's pretty amazing. It's not as good as Elsinore, of course, but still pretty good. Alright, so is she here? Yes, she is here, so we can just go in and give Queen Arwen the letter. There she is. Fantastic. Okay, so, yeah, I bring a message. Do you have any tasks for me as well, maybe? Oh, well, okay, I'm going to do that as well, because obviously, you know, getting relation with the liege of the... faction is always a good idea. So she wants me to do... Oh. Okay, there's 2 of them. Both at Saloon. That's hilarious. Okay, so it seems like I'm going to have to go to Saloon and reduce its relation a little bit, but I think I'm going to do that off screen because they're pretty easy to kill. If they're not, then obviously you're going to see me fail that in the next well, in the next episode I'm going to show which one I failed, obviously, and then we'll see. But hopefully they're going to be pretty easy to take out. You know, hopefully like one, you know, I don't know, 1 or 2 headshots. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.